Hey everybody, John the Storyteller here, back again in the shed of knowledge with you, just for a brief interlude. One quick fact is what I call this. I try to just do one quick fact, and we'll keep it reasonable. Some of these things can go on for like 45 minutes when I get to talking, but anyway, today, hopefully no. I'm going to talk just really briefly about the Chrysler that never was. There's always cars that are designed, and the prototype cars are always outrageous, and sometimes they're really, things that we would like to see in production, but they don't make it into production for whatever reason. They're difficult to manufacture. There's not enough demand for them. When you're talking about cars, the amount of cars that you have to sell to be a viable company is huge. The year that they dropped Plymouth, they sold 300,000 cars. So it's like, how many do you have to sell to get enough cars to maintain your brand? But holy mackerel. And then, of course, you have like Rolls-Royce and other small manufacturers that remain small. But whenever you own a lot of real estate and you have a lot of workers and you have a lot of machinery and stuff, you need to keep those things going to keep your car business in order. And that brings us back around to 1924, when there was a company called Maxwell that tried to be a contender in the market, and actually was. Maxwell was. If I said Maxwell to you in 1923, you'd go, "Oh yeah, it's like a Franklin or a Ford." But Ford was killing them because they could sell them so much cheaper. But Maxwell was ailing in 1924, and so a gentleman by the name of Walter P. Chrysler introduced a car made by Maxwell, and then finally in 1925 you had the introduction of the Chrysler Corporation. So 25 years later, seems like forever, but actually 30 years later, in 1956, Chrysler Corporation, actually 1955, Chrysler Corporation had done some work with a company in Turin called Ghia. And Ghia was a manufacturer of cars, but also a manufacturer of bodies. And Chrysler wanted to get this sleek European look for one of their Chryslers, and they called it the Chrysler Norseman. And they spent, God, $500,000 on it, 15 months for Ghia to take. Basically, Chrysler shipped them over an engine, chassis, transmission. It's like, here's the car. We want a body for it. We want it to look slick, and it was a nice, slick looking thing. It would have looked very different in 1956 had it been produced, but in 1956, Ghia was done and was going to ship it over to Chrysler. Now, they had some photographs taken of it, but there's very few, because they said, well, we're shipping you the whole car. You tell us what you think of it, and you've been involved in all this. So they shipped or they were going to ship the car, the only existing Chrysler Norseman, over to America, but they were late for the freight. The freighter that they were going to put it on. But fortunately, there was space on a passenger ship. And this was July 1956. And so they said, we'll put the car on the passenger ship, and it's coming right to us. It's coming, so ship it on over on the passenger ship. The name of the passenger ship was the Andrea Doria. So a lot of people just went, oh, right there. Yes, the Andrea Doria collided with a ship called the Stockholm, which punched a hole in the side of it, and it sank. So the Andrea Doria, in July of 1956, sank to the bottom of the ocean with the only Chrysler Norseman. And Chrysler kind of gave up after that. They were busy. So, I don't think that the Norseman has been found. There's some lumps that down there. The Andrea Doria is fairly heavily dived. It's a difficult dive, but you can dive it. Well, maybe not you, but an experienced scuba diver, could be you if you really try, could dive it. But They haven't found the car. So that is the story of the Chrysler that never was, the Chrysler Norseman.